All right, here we go, our final final matchup of the day featuring the 4 and 5 seeds, King's Christian Collegiate and Niagara Prep. So we had some great games so far. Looking forward to another great one here. King's working it around slowly, and Tibiasu is going to tip that one off of Stewart and out of bounds. It's going to go back over to Niagara.
Yeah, you come get your offense started, and I think if you're Kings, you get multiple people touching the ball in the first possession. You get a lot of movement going. You help everyone get in the flow of the game. I mean, obviously, you don't want to end in a turnover, but you do like that multiple people are involved in that first possession.
Peters with the turnaround jumper, no good, but Colavecchia right there for the follow.
And that'll be a bit of the trade-off you get if you're Kings. You come and double the post. The plus is you're going to make it challenging on that post. You force a tough shot, but you are going to give up some on the rebounding there, and you have nobody matched with the weak side rebounder.
Good job, Foreman, able to cut off Oriami. Finds an open Neal on the baseline. Her jumper just too strong. Stewart's there for the follow.
Great follow there from Stewart. So last time down, she was the one involved in coming in for the double team, not having a block over, then kind of earns the favor back on the other end, crashes and gets herself an offensive rebound.
Tibiasu against Thorpe. Finds Foreman open on the baseline, and she hits.
A little pass there by Tibiasu. Got in deep enough to have the other defender step up, then slides the pass across the key.
Neal, a deep three. That one's short. There's Stupar with the rebound. Her up and under too strong.
Like the rebounding effort for Stupar, though. She came from the short corner here on the right side, chased that ball to the middle of the key to get it, and then was in control to come back against the defender to a right hand for an attempt at the rim.
Stewart driving, gets the right-handed hook over Tibiasu, and it's good.
Good sign for Kings to get Stewart involved early. She can, bit of a scorer, can really fill it up in bunches. So if you get her involved early on, can really take the pressure off some others.
Good look at three for Foreman. That one's just off. Fight for the rebound, and Neal's going to bring that one down. Thorpe against Picton. Good job cutting her off. Stupar with the left hand over Peters. Good defense there by Niagara, and Peters is going to bring that one out for Niagara.
Yeah, it was a good little pass there, I thought, by Thorpe. Unfortunately, Stupar just couldn't handle it initially.
A little hesitation by Peters, got herself in the lane, but good defense there by Stupar, able to block that attempt out of bounds. It's going to remain here with Niagara. Tibiasu, quick trigger from three from the wing. That's just off. Stupar comes down with another rebound. Oriami quickly out in transition, spins off Foreman, gets in the lane, going to draw the foul there on Picton.
And you like to see, I think for both teams they're going to want this, but if you get opportunities to go in transition, you want to take that. So you like to see Oriami gets that in a little bit of space, heads downhill, gets herself to about the key. And I'm not sure she was looking to score until she got there, but she realized no one really put any resistance on her going forward, get to a spot where she's in scoring range, that continues to go, spins into a foul.
Oriami's able to hit both from the line. Picton, a deep three from the right, just too strong. Peters, though, with the follow, going to draw the foul. Great job, Peters, catching it so high and then quick releasing, getting Neal to hit her on the arm as she went right back up with it.
Yeah, I think both teams here have shown the maybe like a little bit of nerves of the early on starting these games, and some of the shots aren't falling, but both of them have shown the desire to go chase offensive rebounds and earn those extra possessions. And a lot of the scoring, the first 10 points combined, has come from that second chances they've earned offensive rebounds.
Neal with the crossover up top, gets in the lane and finishes with the left.
Nice job from Neal. Nice job. She had a good shot early where she's kind of left alone at the top. Got herself a rhythm look for three.
Chibiasu, little careless pass there, trying to hit Foreman on the baseline. Oriami comes up with a steal, drives right down the way, and finishes with the right.
Nice finish. I think that's a tough one coming back across the body. She's off her wrong foot. Underhand scoop going, almost parallel at the backboard. So nice job by Oriami finding the touch there to get that on the glass.
It's picked in up top. Drives on Thorpe. Peters, the up fake, got Stupar in the air. Tried to find Colavecchia, but it's tipped by Neal and picked away. Here comes Kings. Stupar's drive is going to be there. Deflected by Colavecchia. It's going to draw the foul.
And one of the early challenges here for Niagara has actually been in the transition. Both of their fouls have been being late in transition defense, and it's causing them to foul Kings. And those things will pile up towards bonus as the quarter goes on. So they got to find a way to get back. They've been really good, I think, in the quarter court, but it's been the transition piece that's causing some challenges.
Thorpe over to Stupar, drives against Reed. That's going to be blocked off of Stupar and out of bounds. It's back over to Niagara. Colavecchia, here's Reed on the baseline, going to step out of bounds. So it's going to go back over to Kings.
It's too bad for Reed. You often like to have your forwards working behind the defense there. It's hard for the defense to know where you are. You kind of get to a blind spot for them. So probably liked the area that she was working there for Niagara, but unfortunately she probably lost a little sense of where she was herself and got caught on that baseline for an out of bounds.
Oriami challenged by Reed at the basket. It's going to be called for the foul, though.
And Kings is some early rewards of people getting themselves to the basket. Oriami now a couple. Neal had one. We had Thorpe one earlier that Stupar was unable to handle, and Stewart as well got to the rim. So I think this action for Kings are clearly trying to establish themselves getting to the bucket, see if they can get them some points at the rim, but also get themselves some trips to the free throw line.
Herbert trying to find Reed posting up there with Neal guarding. It's going to be Neal picking up the foul, her first.
Yeah, and credit to Reed there. I think sometimes when forwards come across and you can feel someone holding on to you, you'll end up fighting with your upper body. And I think what really drew the foul there for Reed, she kept moving her feet, pushing Neal onto the side, and that then emphasized how Neal had her arms on her holding the jersey. So credit to Reed for keeping her feet moving and trying to fight for that position to draw that foul.
And Colavecchia there called for the carry. Ball back over to Kings. Stewart a deep three from the wing, and it's good.
Kings is firing right now on a couple cylinders. They've got Neal had a nice drive coming from the top down. Oriami back-to-back buckets, and now Stewart's contribute three different ways. One at the rim, one on the offensive rebound, and now a big three. And it's tough when you've got multiple people scoring for you early on if you're Niagara, because 15-5 is a great start for Kings, but you don't really know who to focus on right now. You just got to find a way to slow Kings down as a team.
Borman in the lane is going to be tipped there by Oriami. Trying to rip it away. It's going to be called for the jump. It's going to remain here with Niagara.
See if Niagara can get some action going to get Tibiasso involved in creating some offense. I mean, typically for her, she's at her best, obviously, in transition, but also in some ball screen offense. So with a lineup that features Reed right now, we'll see if maybe they can get her involved in that and draw whomever the forward position is for Kings into a matchup with Tibiasso.
Going to be tipped out of bounds off Tibiasso, so it's back over to Kings. Skumatova quickly around Reed. Kicks out Hartman, a good look for three. Stewart tries to chase that one down. It's going to go off in Kings, so it's going to go back over to Niagara. Here comes Stewart quickly out in transition. Kicks over to Hartman. Ooh, good block there by Herbert.
Yeah, great block there. I thought it was a real nice pass. Got Hartman a bit of a step on the defender, so Hartman had to come. Herbert had to go on top, over top of that to challenge that shot. So nice play in the 2-on-1. Even greater play defensively to take that thing away.
Peters, good up fake, gets the defender in the air, then gets into the lane, going to draw another foul. This one's going to be on Stewart. It's going to be her first. Team's now 4, so next one will be in the penalty for Niagara.
Foul on Alexis Stewart. That is her first foul, 4th team foul.
Peters, little turnaround lefty hook, okay.
Nice little lefty there, and I think some good patience. Peters has taken a lot of pounding there at that position. A lot of bodies kind of falling on her, leaning on her. She's trying to work through the centerpiece of that offense, but gets a nice touch here, which there's no one around her. Gets to bounce, a nice little lefty to finish.
Here's Thorpe up top, guarded by Picton. Swing around, get a good look for Oriami from the wing, and she buries another three.
Yeah, nice find there again, too. Oriami did a nice job of knowing where she was. She had kept herself on balance while back into the three-point line. She wasn't caught retreating or fading as she caught that, but rather got herself with both feet underneath her. Good base, lets that thing go, and it's all 3 points.
Great cut by Kolovecchia, gets right in the key. The reverse, though, too strong. Fight for the rebound. Hartman's going to bring that one out for Kings. Stewart, little crossover, gets in the lane, dumps off to Stupar. Kolovecchia, though, comes from behind and rips it away. Picked it in transition, just too many steps. Going to get called for the travel, so it's going to go back Kings' way.
You know, I love the job by Picton actually getting to the middle of the floor. I think it was a real good sense of she had a teammate with her. She had some trailers behind her, so where she was going was the right move. I thought that picking up the basketball was probably what got her into trouble. She could have kept that thing either going with the defender on her or just slow yourself down into balance and let the rest play out around you.
Thorpe right through the defense, gets to the rim. Herbert, though, good challenge, causing the miss. Here comes Picton again in transition.
Yeah, Herbert, another good challenge at the rim. She had the one in transition earlier and that one on Thorpe.
Niagara swings around. Kolovecchia, good look from three, too strong. Thorpe's going to bring that one down and force the foul there on Harrison, so it's going to be Niagara picking up their team's 4th also here. 3:12 to go.
Falls on Jamie Harrison. That's her first team.
Thorpe, little pull-up jumper. It's short. It's going to go back over to Niagara.
Stupar gives it a pretty good effort to try and keep that in. We'll see. Niagara's obviously had the first 7 minutes. Hasn't been the offense that we're used to from them, but now they get an injection of Foreman and Tibiasso coming back in after a bit of a breather. See if that gives them a bit of a different look or maybe some injection to the offensive side of things.
Picton tied up as she went into the key. It's going to be a jump ball. It's going to go over to Kings. Thorpe. Stupar driving on Peters. Good defense by Peters. Stupar, though, able to keep it alive. Tips it out. Good look now for Thorpe for three. It's short. It's going to go back Niagara's way. Tibiasu gets right in the lane, unable to hit with the lefty, though Stupar cleans up that miss.
Good challenge with Stupar. She wasn't in a position to block that shot, and she didn't want to foul her, but she did keep her hand out in the vision or around the eyes of Tibiasu.
Oh, deep three. Stop it.
Oriami, good rhythm. Yeah, it's one of those funny things for shooters. You get a shooter a good clean look early in the half or early in the quarter. They get themselves in a bit of a rhythm, and the confidence goes up. Then you get another one where she's setting on balance, and she just feels like she can take it, and obviously you want your shooter in rhythm letting it rip.
Good job, Oriami there then tying up Picton. Foreman gets into the lane. Going to draw the foul on this one. She's going to head to the line.
Good sense there by Foreman. You know, I mean, I feel if you're Niagara, you'd love to get Foreman a look like they just got for Oriami at the other end of the floor, but wasn't there. She had a sense of the defense was right up, putting some pressure on there. Uses a bit of a ball fake, then puts it on the floor and gets in the key. See yourself a trip to the free throw line, and right now Niagara's just finding some ways to generate points. And when you get off to a bit of a slow start as Niagara has, all you want to do is just keep yourself in the game for when things start to come together. So at this stage, it doesn't have to be figured out immediately. I think they're just finding a way to keep themselves in it, and then as things do start to get going and so momentum comes your way, that's when you make your run.
Stewart hands off to Thorpe. Good trap there by Niagara, forcing the steal. Here's Kolovecchia in the open court. Able to finish with the left. Stupar chasing her down. Good shot there by Stewart. Unable to go. Going to be tipped out of bounds off Thorpe, so it's going to go Niagara's way.
Good battle there, too. The lead guards, they're Picton and Thorpe involved in that rebound, but both still getting off the ground, fighting for that. So credit here for both teams. The rebounding's been a big factor early on. I thought it was part of what got Kings established in their offensive rhythm. And I think it's what Niagara's almost been relying on a bit here to get some second chances themselves with some offensive rebounds. So timeout might be what Niagara needs, see if they can get some offensive rhythm going and a bit of an offensive flow. They just need one or two to fall to break the seal.
Look to get Kolovecchia look right on the block, and she answers right out of the timeout.
Yeah, and I love that. You come out of the timeout, offense isn't going probably the way you want in the first quarter, and what you do is you get something at the rim. You come out, you get a nice post touch. something within 6 feet from the rim, give yourself a great shot. I think that's a great way to build up some momentum in the offense when it's not clicking early.
Great job, Picton, able to get her hands on the pass. Tibiasu comes up with a steal, and then the three-man break. It's another good look for Kolovecki at the rim.
Yeah, I almost kind of hope this starts the approach. You come out to the timeout, you get a real good post touch, it gets you 2 points. You get a turnover, you get you 2 more. So now you got quick 4 points in Niagara. You hope it's a little bit contagious and you get this offense going.
That was Madeline Picton. That's her second foul.
Looked pretty good there, Picton trying to tie up the offensive player there for a jump ball. Going to be called in for the reach-in, though, so it's going to be shots here for Kokic. Niagara, though, ramping up the pressure full court these last few possessions. Able to hit both from the line. Dibiasu, Thorpe guarding, gets the crossover kick out. Herbert driving, woo! Long steps, gets around Kolovecchio, great offensive rebound. Tibiasu, 5 on the clock, gotta go. Gets right to the rim.
Yeah, I think that's a nice injection as well, too. So Tibiasu now gets involved, gets something at the rim, gets herself established in the offense. You know, and you look back for Niagara, almost like we talked about, it was a bit of a slow start for them offensively, but at the end of the quarter now, they got themselves at 16 points. So as we talked about, you had to keep yourself in it. The offense will start to come, and maybe without even noticing, you turn around, they're at 16. So really their issue now is just closing that gap from 23 points given up to Kings in the first quarter.
And for Niagara, early on, only 16 points in the first quarter, which ended up being not too bad a deficit with 23 points from Kings. But Tibiasu with 2 and Foreman with 3, your 2 leading scorers coming into this game. You expect that both of them will eventually start to put up bigger scoring numbers.
Yeah, you do anticipate both will get going, and you also look at the other side of this. Kings had a tremendous start. Oriami seemed to make everything she took there in that first quarter. Stewart had a great start as well, making her first 3 shots. So I think if you're Niagara in this, you kind of look at it. If you're Niagara in this first intermission, you got to look at that a little bit. Like Kings started so hot, we really couldn't get anything going, so it was a tale of 2 stories. And if you're Kings on the flip side of that, you still got to look at, well, we put up 23 in that first quarter, and it's going to find a way to keep slowing down Niagara.
Here you go to start the second. It's Niagara ball trailing this one 16-23.
Nice hands.
Catch. Gets a good look, Kolovecchia piling it in here.
Yeah, Tibiasu deserves a lot of credit there. I mean, we both kind of made that initial comment, but just be able to get the hands on and knock that thing down, get it under control, and moved in time to still have an open teammate. So Tibiasu, great hands on that play.
Kolovecchia now also up to 11 points, so carrying this Niagara offensive scoring output so far. Good look for Stewart, a long 2, foot's on the line.
I think we mentioned this earlier in one of the other games, but love that she just took the 2-pointer. And what I mean by that is not that I don't want a 3, but instead of trying to get lost and find where that 3-point line is, you're open, you're in rhythm, just shoot the open shot. She does that, she nails it. The 2 points are worth more than trying to figure out where your feet are.
My argument to that would be figure it out before you get the ball, though. You're an inch too close, girl. Come on. Peters for 3.
Chloe Peters with the confident 3.
And Niagara now getting some rhythm going too. We talked about just staying in that game. They did that, and now we got ourselves a ball game.
Skumatova driving, good job by Herbert, able to cut her off. Here's Tibiasu with the steal. Stewart trailing. She's able to finish for 2.
Tibiasu, a nice anticipation on that one. She had a head of steam, and almost when you're the defense and you come running through that, it's almost like getting you a head start. You're the first one running that direction, so she's got a head start on Stewart. Once she gets a hand on it, she's at a higher speed, can kind of pull away from that.
Oriami driving, going to draw the foul there on Kolovecchia. It's going to be her second, and Oriami's going to get 2 more chances from the line.
That's a good one. I think it's been a little while since Oriami had a good look at the basket, so they get her back involved. And she also gets something going towards the rim, so probably a good answer for Kings.
That's her second foul. Team foul number 1.
Those 2 chances by Tibiasu, too. She's now had 2 right at the rim, 1 in the transition and 1 cutting from the left side to the right hand. Those 2 might also start get her going. We usually see her scoring a lot of jump shots through these games. We haven't even seen her taken that many so far, so it might be these layups that start to get her some of this offensive feel and look for her to be a little bit more assertive here.
Yeah, and throughout her career, she's been a gamer and a clutch player that comes through in big moments for them. So I never underestimate the impact of that as this game stays close down the stretch.
Peters a little up and under to the left hand, too strong. Neal cleans up the miss. Woo. Tries to find Stupar cutting, just too strong. It's going to go out of bounds, so it's going to go back over to Niagara.
Yeah, missed connection there. Stupar with another nice cut down the backside of the defense. No one really found her. She's in the paint, and the pass just not being able to connect goes from an easy 2 points to turnover. So game of inches at times.
Tibiasu guarded by Stewart. Gets a step, tries to fight a cutting Harrison. Good job. Hartman able to step in there, cause the jump ball. It's going to go back over to Kings. Stewart, a quick trigger, deep 3 again.
And I tell you, she is a scorer. She finds a lot of ways to get it done. But if you got her in a rhythm for Kings, it really opens up a lot of space for other people. Stewart can fill it up on her own, but that just frees up Neal and Oriami, both from pressure that's on them and also more space for them to play.
Woo! Tibiasu flies in, unable to get a hand on it though. Stewart hits a cutting Stupar. Good job, Peters able to blow up that offensive rebound chance, but they get an open look for Neal up top. Coming back the other way, and Stupar is able to come up with it.
Oriami got a little spun around there. I think she was open for a second.
Woo. Good play there, Herbert. Good job, Oriami able to cut her off in transition. Niagara swings around. Foreman gets a good look from this wing. Just too strong. Hebert, though, cleans it up. Here's Peters with the lefty.
Great pass. Hebert, I think, done a nice job. There's 2 blocks really on them and really nice. And then this offensive rebound, it looks so simple. She makes it look so easy, but it's a great pass to have that sense in there and just bounce it underneath the defense so your offensive player can walk into it.
And some big minutes here from Hebert, both offensively and defensively. It just seems Niagara was little lacking energy at times, and injection of energy here for the team gets them all going.
A rare miss for Stewart. I don't think she ever really got set.
TBS, a little dump off, finds Harrison wide open on the block.
Yeah, and that's what we expect more of TBS. You get her in a little bit of space, so you let her start to create even in the half court. Once she can start to go downhill penetration, she can find athletes. She gets your team good shots. I mean, that's a great example. Off the dribble, can go left hand, little scoop pass, ends up in a layup for somebody else.
Neal drives right to the basket for 2 of her points.
You love that. You get a skip pass from top to the far corner, but you'd love to have your guards attack in that scenario. So if you're wide open for 3, great. But other than that, start to attack. As the defense is going to that side of the floor, you're going against them. Tough to defend and tough to contain.
Hebert tried to find Foreman posting up just out of her reach, so it's going to go back over to Kings. We're going to get subs both ways here. Top shot by Neal, too strong. Fight for the board. Oriami's going to come up with it.
I would love to see Neal take that one again.
Long 2 here for Skumatova. It's strong. Oriami, though, flies in for the offensive rebound. Her miss is no, her shot is no good. Sorry, Skumatova's shot's no good, but Oriami, third offensive rebound chance and Barry.
Great F in there, Oriami. Both the athleticism to get that rebound, but also just the effort to continue to chase that down, go up and get it.
Ooh. It's a nice idea there by Picton. Tried to find a cut in Kolovecchia. Just a little miscommunication on the cut. It's going to go out of bounds, back over to Kings. Hartman. Here's Stewart driving baseline. Hartman up top now. Oh, good up fake there by Skumatova. Got Reed a little off balance. Got a good look on the pull-up, just too strong. Kolovecchia tried a little hesitation to get in the lane.
Nice job, Picton, running that one back.
Hartman, good job. A little change of speed to avoid Picton, though.
Yeah, Hartman does a nice job in the steal. You had to feel from the moment she converted that it was probably a pretty high percentage chance for offense. Picton at least came back to give her team a chance to disrupt that.
Ooh. Quick hands there, Tiana Neal. She's going to go out in transition. Foreman also cuts her off, but good job, Neal, able to stop on a dime and finish.
And the back-to-back turnovers really essentially create this timeout for Niagara. You've done a pretty good job getting yourself back in, had the flow of the game going. Back-to-back turnovers ended up in 4 uncontested points, and just got to get back. Got to clean the things up here, getting yourself shot attempts.
You don't want that. Tibiasu guarded by Neal on the wing. Gonna go off that. Oh, good job. Stewart able to poke her hand in there, take it away from Tibiasu.
Yeah, kind of crept in on Tibiasu there, and I don't think she felt the crowd coming, but they really shrunk the floor on her.
Stewart, ooh. Job to break through, split the double, finds Neal open in the corner, and she buries a 3.
Great pass. I mean, really great hands there in a tight space to get that ball through them. Then Stewart almost like backhand flicks that pass to the corner right on spot, and by design bounce pass. Really loved it.
Oh, Stewart again. Great pressure there on the ball handler. Good job Picton able to avoid, and then going to draw the foul going to the basket. It's going to be Oriami picking up her first. Kings also probably is understated to this point, but is probably one of the premier three-point shooting teams in the OSBA. Just so many weapons that can bury it. All spots on the perimeter, and we've seen it now. Neal, Stewart, and Oriami, they're also not scared to take a full step back from that, extending the defense out here.
substitution on the court.
Kings out in transition. Hartman, good job. Peters able to stop that. Thorpe driving on Hebert. Skumatova from the corner, a deep two. It's strong. Thorpe, though, able to track that one down. Skumatova, good up fake on Kolovecchia. Great block with the left hand. Fight for the rebound. It's going to be jump ball, which is going to go over to Niagara.
Yeah, real good attack there. I thought the ball got skipped. There's a lot of space to go in there, but then the block was even greater. Came kind of across the body without making any contact and got the ball before it really left the hand. Took what was looking like a great scoring opportunity and just totally neutralized it.
Tibiasu here on the wing, guarded by Thorpe. Finds Kolovecchia open on the wing. That one's too strong. Stewart's able to bring that one down. I like Picton on that last rebound, Steve, coming and just pressuring Stewart a bit, not allowing her to break out some. And right back the other way, Oriami buries another triple.
Yeah, I think anytime you can disrupt the flow of offense, and for when you're on the defensive team, whether it be in the quarter court or even off that rebound trying to break out, I agree, Max, makes a big difference.
Peters shot's no good. Kolovecchio, the reverse follow, short. And here comes Kings in transition. Stewart, Euro around Picton. Gonna draw the foul, and she'll head to the line.
Yeah, did a nice job, Stewart, I thought, trying to get Picton to move side to side. She didn't want to let her stand in one spot, so she used the move both in and out there trying to get Picton to go. Once she had that, she tried to get the inside spot and draw that foul, which she did. Probably just needed to ensure that rebound or so the shot attempt got onto the glass a little earlier, give her a chance at a three-point. When you go underhand and you take some contact, it increases the odds of that getting changed or the flight path of the shot gets changed.
Niagara swings it around. Good look here for Tibiasu, just short. Stewart flies in for the rebound. Ooh. Just unable to stop there, too quick out for Thorpe. It's going to be called for the travel.
Yeah,
back over to Niagara.
Pretty fun, though. Actually, two really fast guards there. Thorpe with the ball taken down, Tibiasu running her down. What we would love to see for Thorpe on that one, because Tibiasu cut that off, is keep the dribble alive, whether it meant she had to retreat or continue through the paint to their side, but just something where she had to pick it up and then try and slow down all that speed to get back to balance, or rather just keep it going and keep control of the ball.
Deep three here for Tibiasu, just off. Foreman, though, able to track down that rebound. Her putback's just off. Stupar cleans up that miss. Some good looks here for Niagara. Just can't get anything to go here late in the second. Ooh. Open look there for Thorpe. That one just rattles out, but another good look there for Kings. Tibiasu tries to drive in between them. Stupar's able to come up with the steal, drives right at Peters. Great job of her to contest the shot. Coming back the other way, Thorpe's going to tip that one away before it gets to Hebert, so it's going to remain here. Niagara ball, 9 seconds left in our first half.
Love that by Stupar, gets her hands on that. I bet you don't very often get Stupar and Peters going one-on-one from half like that, and both of them did a great job. I thought Stupar did a nice job putting the ball on the floor, attacking to her right, and Peters did a nice job not giving up an inch. Woo.
9 seconds left. Tibiasu just takes it fully extended with the left and just flicks it right over the rim. Drops it in.
Credit to her for the ball control to get that up over the defense and a chance to go at the rim. My guess is it probably was supposed to go more towards the backboard with the angle that came out of the hand, but nonetheless, she got it over everybody, gave herself a chance, and got the nice touch and roll.
And just like that, at the end of the first half, we have Kings leading this one 45-31 over Niagara Prep. Here we go, Kings with the opening ball to start the second half. Thor passed up a good look at 3. Great out fake there by Neal to freeze Peters. Gets around her, is going to draw the foul.
Peters probably a nice job. Probably felt that no one really behind her there. Didn't want to give the free easy 2 points. So take this foul and take on the end line. I think for Niagara here in the second half, obviously the 31 points is not as many as they would like offensively, but really the bigger issue for them is going to be the 45 against. And their offense kind of came in little spurts. They got red hot for a bit and a couple stretches where they were probably ice cold. So if they can find a little consistency on offense, they probably don't need much more, but the consistent presence. And they really need to find a way to slow down Kings, who just seem to be firing on all cylinders there in the first half. Not too bad there, that first possession. I thought Niagara came out with a great start there. Picton got an isolation on the wing. She goes one-on-one, gets by, makes a nice little pass, but just unable to connect, and a little bit of a bobble there. Turns what probably a great scoring opportunity into a tied-up basketball and jump ball possession arrow.
Tibiasu. Nifty pass there, finds Foreman right there at the basket.
Another great pass. I mean, so both their guards now start off with 2 possessions, getting into the heart of the defense, making nice passes. I think Niagara's going to want to build on some of that, but again, their key for I think the second half is here on the other end of the floor and getting some stops.
Oriami, long 2, no good. So some good looks for Oriami early here in the third. Unable to go those last 2 chances. Oh, great possession though for Niagara. Get a look for Kolovecchia right at the doorstep. Oh. We're going to get Stupar with the rebound. I believe we're going to get a foul there call. We're going to check on Kolovecchia, though, as the trainer comes out. As the trainer's on the court, we're just going to take a short break here from the action. All right, so with that play, we had a foul on both Kolovecchia and then an unsporting foul on Stupar. Kolovecchia has since checked out, so we have Hebert checking in to take the free throws. Goes 1 for 2 from the line, and it's going to remain here, Niagara ball.
Good news is Kolovecchia looked fine after a couple moments. Sometimes anything up to the head of all of us can cause an immediate reaction to look maybe like a little worse than it is, but it seemed like once she was able to gather herself, she looked fine. The medical staff seemed to be pretty happy with the way she checked out as well, too, so I would anticipate seeing her back probably sooner than later.
Foreman, a good look from the wing just before the buzzer and hits the three.
You know, and I think that's a big one for Niagara as well, too, is get Foreman another look from the outside, get some perimeter shooting. Niagara does a great job offensively of getting people at the basket, and to help create those opportunities, you need a couple people to make some outside shots, and Foreman's usually carries the load for them on that. And
right back the other way, Neal gets a good look from three. She's unable to hit. It's going to go back over to Niagara. Try to get Peters a touch on the block. Gets a good look for Tibiasu up top, just short.
Another good shot, though, from the perimeter. So Niagara's hopefully going to use this to soften up some of the interior of that defense.
Stewart, a good look from the wing. Good in and out dribble from Picton, and then the high stepping to the layup.
Yeah, and I love Picton's sense there. She gets out in transition, and it almost felt like the entire time she was surveying, looking for someone to give the ball to, but never felt the defense committed to her. Since she had the lane, she just continued to go. All of a sudden, she's in range to do a 1-2 stop for a layup, and easy 2 points.
With the Kings out too, trying to pump up her team, get some life into this Niagara Prep team. Only down 6 now. Big start to the third. Thorpe gets right to the rim, unable to hit the layup. Great save, though, and Stewart with the good catch. Inbounds. Ooh. Heber comes over with the big block on Thorpe. Here's Niagara pushing. Great pass. Tibiasu and Foreman with the right hand.
Well, it might be a little early to jump on this, but it has been 10-0 for Niagara to start this second half, and Kings is without a bucket yet this half. And we talked about the first half. It seemed like everyone was making all the shots they took. They've had a couple this quarter that haven't gone yet. And on that comment, respond with their first made bucket of the quarter.
Yeah, big three from there for Thorpe.
Just got to remember to keep my mouth shut a little bit longer and things will play themselves out.
Yeah, thought that about you too sometimes. Picked in. Ooh, deep three. That's short. Oriami's cleaning that one up. Here's Kings now in transition. See if that made by Thorpe get things going here for Kings, as the floater there by Neal's going to be just short. Hebert, though, pushing.
Would have liked to see Neal shoot that one and on the reversal to her in behind. She had a pretty good look from three.
Stewart off on that spot. Great hustle, though, by Stupar, able to save it. It's going to get it over to Niagara, though, and they have numbers in transition. They got a good look for Tibiasu from the corner. It's just off.
So it's a pretty un-Kings-like moment there. Stupar goes out of bounds trying to save that ball, but the un-Kings-like moment is, I felt like everyone else is just watching her. So, and it felt like the bench kind of recognized that as well. How come no one else is there to give her a little bit of support or someone to pass that ball to? And you know, those things are usually a little bit more alarming. That means there's some energy missing or some engagement missing for some athletes. So we'll see if Kings is going to make some lineup changes or potentially systematic changes here just to see if we can engage some more bodies.
With someone like a Stupar, too, who's been crashing all boards, both offensive and defensive, you know she's going to try and get her hands on it at some point. So give her some support over there. Even if she doesn't grab it herself, she's going to try and get at least a touch and flick it in your direction.
You never want anything to be coming down to one person, so you don't want your team relying on one person to rebound. You never want one person to score, one person to shoot. So, you know, that possession looked like they were just relying on Stupar to go rebound, and I think it's been an un-Kings-like thing this game and this season.
Great defense there by Sumatova coming over to defend Tibiasu's drive. It's going to go off of Neal and out of bounds, so it's Niagara ball here, 9 on the shot clock. Here's Foreman trying to work on Stewart, 5 now. Gets the crossover, great defense by Stewart, forcing the travel there on Foreman. It's going to go ball back over to Kings.
Great job is right. I think a little bit Stewart able to get her body there and absorb some of the contact, and as you take away that drive line, offense ends up getting their feet down a little quicker than they're anticipating. So Foreman's not yet into her shot, ends up taking the extra step.
Stewart drives the lane. Oh, nifty finish around in traffic.
You can feel the bit of the score mentality there for Stewart as well. Gets that one in the corner, has a sense of how to get her, has a sense to get herself to the rim, has a feel for whether she can take that jump shot, take on that defender. Good finish across the body.
That foul was on Nita Oriomi. It's her second foul.
Towing that line carefully is Stewart. Good job, Reed, able to cut Oriomi off. Mishandled there by Skumatova. Harrison went for the steal. King swings it around. Great take there by Neal. Challenges the defender. She'll be fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
That foul is on James Foreman. That is her first foul. Third team foul. Tiana Neal on the line.
So we talked about coming out in this half that probably the number one goal for Niagara is to find a way to slow down Kings, that their offense was functioning close to the level they needed to win this game, but defensively they had to slow them down. And the first 5 minutes in the second half, they've done that. So while the score still sits at 9, Niagara's done a real nice job of kind of getting the flow back to, or the flow of the game to much more even than it was at the end of the first half.
Great drive there by Oriomi and able to finish with the left over Reed. Good take there by Picton, but it's going to be called for the travel. Too many steps before the layup. It's going to go back over to Kings.
Yeah, and that's going to, obviously have some frustration on the violation call if you're Niagara, but the reality of that is there are some real nice positives for that. You'd like to see Picton attacking that one-on-one matchup as she did early in the first half to create some opportunities, and it's a great finish. So extra step or not, positives to take.
Here's Picton again in transition. Now trying to find Harrison. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off Kings, so it's going to remain here with Niagara.
Oh, great catch there, I thought, by Tibiasu. Yeah, Neal probably had a hand that it caught part of Tibiasu's forearm, still able to kind of manage that hand in there, get both her hands on the basketball and contain it.
Hebert, great crossover against Stewart. Good job, though. Hartman coming over on the back to block that attempt. Stewart calls for the screen. Neal gets right to the rim, unable to hit with the left, though. Good job, Hebert, able to tip that away to Tibiasu. Here's Picton out in transition, finishes plus the foul.
Basket is good.
I think you look at those last couple of takes here for Picton and love this finish and getting the and one opportunity. And she had the one when they called her for the travel. The next time down, she probably passed. It got tipped out of bounds. Would have almost loved to see her take this shot attempt on that middle one as well. And basing it on how that scoop finish went on the travel call and how the finish went on this one, probably was the best opportunity they would have had in transition as her continue to shoot. So really the point of that is I think they're going to need her to continue to be aggressive right now. They haven't had probably the production from TBSO that we've come to expect in a lot of these games, and I think Picton's been carrying a little bit more of that scoring load for them, so you need her to be aggressive here down the stretch. That being said, an emergence of TBSO wouldn't hurt as well.
Yeah, if you're Niagara, you would definitely welcome that. Good look here for Oriami, and she buries another triple. She has been on this game. Up to 23 points here for Midday. 3 minutes left to go in the third. Picton, good defense there by Hartman. We're down to 7 on the shot clock. Ooh, little step back by Tibiasu, just off. Foreman and Stewart fighting for the ball. It's
nice block up by Stewart. Thought she did a real nice job of finding Foreman, looking for contact there, take her away as an offensive rebounder and sticking with that contact.
Stewart here guarded by Tibiasu. Good switch, Foreman, close out. Doesn't matter, Stewart a big three.
Great read. She felt the switch there between the two guards, but Foreman had a long way to come, so with that gave enough of a pocket for Stewart to get a little bit of step back or hop back jumper. She was in a good rhythm. I like the read, I like the shot attempt, and big hit. Put this thing back to 14.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. They get Peters a touch on the block. The lefty fadeaway over Stupar, no good. Good job, Stupar able to get that rebound. Bringing it up here in transition for Kings. Handoff to Oriami, the crossover. The skip out to Hartman, a good look for three. Ooh, just rattles out.
You know, I love that breakout by Stupar, and actually ends up creating that entire possession because she's able to dribble that thing up, gets herself into the front court. It ends up being a bit of a switch, and a guard's got to get on her. And what happens when Stupar then does give to Oriami, Oriami now has Peters or a forward out in space trying to guard her. Oriami's first moves to the basket, taking advantage of that matchup and creates the open three-point shot. So Stupar deserves a lot of credit for breaking out the dribble and not allowing just the Niagara defense to match up.
They get Tibiasu, Hartman on her on the wing, directing Peters. Little crossover to the step back, finds Picton filling behind. Her three's too long. Oriami cleans up the miss. Good job, Niagara able to get it out of her hands. Here's Thorpe on Tibiasu, good hands. Going to deflect that out of bounds. It's going to remain here with Kings.
Tibiasu does a nice job, I think, kind of ending that as a transition threat. Gets Thorpe up that sideline, can match her quickness, which is not an easy task with Thorpe running in transition, but Tibiasu does and gets to hand the ball to knock it out of bounds.
Hartman, oh, good hands there by Foreman, able to get a piece. Stewart now driving on Hebert. Oriami fills behind, now driving on Foreman. Looked like Foreman did a good job with the body, just reached up at the last second and hit Oriami on the arm, which is going to send Oriami to the line.
Yeah, I thought they had the high screen action there with Thorpe and Stupar, and Stupar had gone down the key, and Niagara had lost her. They weren't sure of the matchup. It was almost like a switch from one side, and the other side didn't want to switch, which I think that side being Tibiasu. And Stupar felt she was wide open. I think she was wide open in the middle of the key, but they couldn't get the ball to her. But the reason you point that up is I think that's something you probably note as Kings, and if they're going to have challenges with Tibiasu in the ball screen that Stupar's sending, they might come back to that action and really test what Niagara's going to do to defend it.
A little hesitation by Tibiasu, gets a good look for Hebert right at the rim, and she's able to hit.
Nice find from Tibiasu there.
Good pressure there, but Niagara get it out of the hands. The swing, though, gets a good look from three. Hartman crashing the glass, gets another chance here for Kings.
May have missed Stupar again in the key, unguarded.
Extra pass finds Stewart again for a three. This one's going to be short. It's going to go back over to Niagara.
I think if you're Kings, you like that, though. You're not going to walk away with no points too often, getting Stewart 2 clean shots and 1 possession from 3. So this time ends up a 0, but I bet it's a possession you like to have. A 3-second differential here, shot clock, game clock. Niagara ball.
4, sorry. It's going to be Niagara Bell baseline here, 19 game clock, 15 shot clock. There's Tibiasu, Thorpe guarding. Use the screen. Ooh. Tries to find a cutting Peters. Thorpe, though, jumps up, deflects that, comes away with a steal. Good job to get your hands in there for Tibiasu. Thorpe, though, retains it, gets around the defender to the rim. Stupar flies in, unable to contain the offensive rebound. So just like that, at the score after 3, Kings leads this one 58-46 over Niagara Prep. Hartman gets in lane, going to draw the foul there on Picton, which is going to be her 4th. So big play here to start the 4th quarter for both Niagara and Kings.
Yeah, I felt Niagara had upped some of the defensive pressure in the passing lanes, denying a lot of the action on the perimeter. And with that, with the extension of their defense and pressure all around, Kings was able to exploit the one-on-one matchup with some space. No one had help and went to the rim. So good read by Hartman and attacking the one-on-one.
We're just going to try and confirm who that foul call was on. I believe we thought it was Picton, but the initial call was on Colavecchia.
Correction, the foul was actually on Madam Picton, and it's your 4th, first team foul.
Right down the lane, Tibiasu unable to finish though with the right. Coming over the top though, where they're going to get Stupar with the foul.
And those are tough ones. I mean, you like that Stupar went in there, got her hands on it and ripped for the basketball. So most times if you're King, you're going to take that every time. You're not going to discourage the rebounding effort and getting some hands on it.
Jamie Foreman from another area code.
Foreman's able to bury that 3.
And that's the downside of the foul call. Not only do you get the one on Stupar, but you also end up in a 3-point make for Foreman. Gets her going, cuts the lead a bit, and allows them to set up their pressure.
Thorpe tries to find Neal over the top. It's going to go out of bounds. Ball back over to Niagara. Good tiptoeing there by TBS, able to stay in bounds. She kicks out to Picton, just stays in. Her three is too strong. Great rebound there by Stupar.
I think down the stretch here, this is where they're going to really need some offensive production from Tibiasu. And she can score them, she can create them for others, but they just need her to be involved in the offense.
Right back the other way, and Stewart's going to pick off that pass in transition. She's coming by herself. They swing around. Good job, Picton able to stop Oriami. Neal, little hesitation, gets around Foreman and finishes with the right.
You know, Thorpe may have passed up one too many that time trying to get to Oriami, which you got to respect the hot hand of Oriami and your go-tos in the corner, but didn't really give her a shot. But I really think Oriami deserves some credit in that next pass because it would have been easy to throw it back to Thorpe. Defense was there. She was aware of that, skipped it right over Thorpe to the top and a safer pass. So what seemed like pretty routine and pretty easy, but very heads-up play by Oriami.
Picks a little hesitation, gets around Stupar, good passing. A little confusion on spacing there. Foreman, though, able to get that with Picton offensive rebound. Again, Picton on the offensive glass. Her shot's no good. Tie up here between Picton and Stupar, and jump ball's going to go over to Niagara.
Yeah, and again, I think they overpassed one down here for Niagara. They had a chance of the shot, and I also thought that Foreman probably had to take that first one, the mid-range that she had again with open, but the desire to get backed up got her a little off balance and probably a tougher shot.
Chibiasu unable to hit the layup at the rim. Comes down, and Kings is going to retain that.
Well, Stupar might have got hit there in the neck on that in exchange as well too, so getting a little bit of her breath back into her.
Stupar at the elbow. Tries to find a cutting Oriami. Foreman's going to come up with that steal, though. She's pushing. Scans for her teammates. Ooh! Sidesteps around. Stupar going to draw the foul, and Foreman's going to head to the line.
Not a bad little move there by Foreman. I think she almost had the change of speed where her eyes, it had the full commitment and feel that she was trying to get the ball out of her hands to somebody else, and as soon as the defense spread out, she just slipped into that slot, draws the foul. So I thought a real nice little play, a little crafty play.
Jamie Foreman.
That was their Stupar's fourth foul, so that's something to watch here for Kings, as she has been huge both on the offensive and defensive glass.
Substitution on the court.
I think when you're Kings right now, you got to look as you want to continue to stay aggressive, get some good quality shots down here. They've done a nice job involving some different people on offense, and that's fine. I think if you're Niagara, you got to find a way to get, or you need some more production from TBS, whether it's getting her involved or her being more assertive.
Good job, Kings, able to get a good look there for Oriami. Stupar again on the glass, gets it out, but Niagara's able to handle it. Foreman cutting down the lane, cut off there by Stewart, challenges the shot. It's going to be blocked out of bounds, so it's going to remain with Niagara.
You know, that was a little better to see that time too. Stupar again making the second or third effort to keep that ball, rebound in play and alive, and that time you saw Hartman coming in trying to support that effort, so it gave her someone to tip the ball too. Referencing, I guess, one of our earlier comments.
Gets it into Peters. Guarded there, double team comes with Stewart. Unable to hit the lefty. Stewart again splits through the hedge there by Peters. Gets a good look, unable to hit. Chibiasu, though, picked off by Stewart in transition, tried to kick ahead to Picton.
I like the read there by Tibiasu, but I think that pass has to go over that midline of the defense, meaning it's going to drop in like a football pass for Picton on the outside of the key.
Stupar goes right at Peters, unable to hit. Oriami, though, gets the offensive rebound. Her putback no good. Peters is able to corral that rebound, and here comes Tibiasu in transition. Great job getting around Oriami. They have numbers. Picton, though, tied up by Stewart. Peters gets a good look from three. just off. Good job of Oriami able to tip that away from Kolovecchia.
Yeah, nice athletic play. Oriami's had a couple real nice rebounds here on both ends of the floor, and that was probably one of her best today, going up a long way and taking that away from the offensive rebound.
Kings swinging it around. Thorpe gets around Peters, the pull-up. Oh, big basket there by Tamala Thorpe.
Nice shot there, Thorpe. I think whenever you can get a ball screen set inside the three-point line, essentially that one's at the elbow. You want your guard looking for a pull-up on that as one of the first options. Typically, you come off ball screens, you're looking at how they defend your forward, but because of location on the floor, you want her being assertive there, looking to score. Thorpe does just that. She comes off elbow to elbow. There's not enough, or she has enough space to get a shot off. You take that shot if you're in scoring range.
It seemed like both teams were having such trouble to score there for what seemed like a 3-4 minute stretch. No one could buy a bucket, so getting a basket just almost sapped the momentum in King's way, forcing Niagara to call this timeout.
Yeah, I think Niagara's now, I mean, we've been calling for it, and maybe TBS was not the answer today, but they've got to find a way to generate a little bit of offense, and their best spurt today of generating some offense quickly was probably Kolovecchia. If my memory serves correctly, end of the first half, that she went on a little bit of an explosion there for a bunch of quick points. So Niagara's got to find something now to get a bit of a spark into their offense again. And the reality is, for as great as they've been playing and their defense has tightened up, when you're down, it starts to get late. You need some points to go on the board to close this gap.
And one of the things that Niagara did do in getting that spurt in the first half was they were able to set up some of that full court pressure to create some turnovers and get some quick baskets. They just haven't hit shots to set up that full court pressure. So it's almost twofold.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 points Niagara. Thorpe again, a little pull-up just inside the three, and again it's good.
Thorpe, a couple of big shots there. I mean, this is a time of the game where Niagara's just trying to find a little crack, get a little momentum going, and they seem like just one-off jumpers, but Thorpe's just really taking away the chance to build any momentum, so they're big shots from that sense.
Great crossover. Picton gets in the lane, a little scoop layup, no good. Oriami's able to clean it up.
Nice left, I thought, too, over the front of the rim. It gives it a chance when you go to the front of the rim and you can use the glass. There's a lot of opportunities for that to drop in there, so Picton a little unlucky to get nothing out of it.
Stewart, a little step back right over Hebert, no good. Hartman, though, another follow. Stewart tacks the glass and finishes that one.
Yeah, I looked like she might have got away with a little shuffle of the feet before she got going there, too.
Kolovecchia in the corner for a three, and she hits it.
Yeah, big one. They really needed that. The time now, I mean, you got 11 points, 4 minutes. Time is becoming a factor, and that's for Niagara as well. We have seen they can score in bunches, and that's something you're obviously going to be calling on here late.
Ooh. Good job, Niagara there. The trap, forcing the turnover. Here's Hebert in transition. Oh, goes to the Euro. Almost just lost her spacing there on the court.
Yeah, I seemed a little unsure where she was in relation to the rim, which can be tough sometimes catching one overhead. But would have loved to see with her and Thorpe as the defender with her, just go right at her and probably can finish on top of her at the rim with your strong hand and where you're most comfortable.
Oriami kicks out Hartman along too. Good box out there by Harrison. Picton diving on the floor. Good job. Both teams fighting for it. It's going to be a jump ball. It's going to remain here though with Kings.
Substitution on the court.
Now there is some. I mean, you can feel it now. If you're Niagara, you get down to 3 minutes. You got to find a way to make up 11 points. So, for as effective as they've been in the both ends of the floor, they probably need to find a way now to change the way the flow of the game's going and trying to find some way to create some turnovers. Offensively, probably got to make sure you're getting a score most trips down, which means sending some extra bodies to the offensive glass. But there's got to be something to generate some more offense and more possessions in this game.
Good job, Foreman, blocking Stewart there on the block. So down 11-3, they got to go quick. They got to get some things happening both ends here. Good job, Oriami, getting a hand in there.
Substitution on the court.
Tibiasu, good look. Unfortunate for her, that one didn't go, and it's going to be tipped off Hebert and out of bounds.
Yeah, and every possession starts to feel the weight or the pressure of this game on it now if you're Niagara. Somewhere in here, and these are like you're going to start to take some risk. You almost have to try and make some things happen, but any risk means you're going to be exposed potentially on the other end. So we'll see when and where they start to take those, but I'm assuming something's coming here.
As Neal drives around, gets around Foreman right to the rim, and she finishes with the left.
Tiana Neal with the strong take.
Harrison takes a three. It's going to be short, but follows her miss, toss it back in bounds. Stewart's going to clean it up, though, and here's Hartman pushing for Kings. Oriami contested this time for three, but buries it.
I tell you, Oriami's been a pretty focused individual here today. Not that there hasn't been a lot of people contributing for Kings, but I mean, she's been on point when they need her. She's delivered offensively. She's been extremely active on the glass at both ends. And just a calming presence, I think, to any type of run Niagara's trying to make. Oriami's always just seems to be there with a response.
Neal gets in the lane. Great challenge there by Peters. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go back to Kings. Great job by Stupar, absorbing the contact, finishing, plus the foul.
One of the worst positions to be in defenders when you try to get a steal and you just miss, because most times that means you're at a position of where you want to be when the offense does catch the ball, and that's exactly what happened there. Stupar felt that. The ball got through. Defense is still a bit off balance, reaching for it. She just dribbles back into the defender that's falling on her, draws the foul, is in total control of that contact, and gets the bucket to go.
Swinging around, Tibiasu, good look from three, buries that one.
Yeah, great looking stroke there on the reversal for Tibiasu.
15-point deficit, though, here for Niagara. 1 minute. They got to make some things happen real quick. Kolovecchia comes up with a steal. And that's how they're going to do it. Turnovers and quick some points. 13, they got to go quicker. 1 minute to go. Neal driving on Kolovecchia. It's going to step out of bounds here for Oriami, so it's going to go back to Niagara. 39 seconds to go.
Timeouts, Kings.
You know, and we've had some of these timeouts when we're in season. We talk about like preparing for the moments like this, and I think this is still part of it for Kings. You have assuming disaster does not strike here in the next 40 seconds for Kings, you have 2 more of your biggest games of the year coming up where you have a chance to play in the semifinals and hopefully give you a chance to go play for the championship. So you want to make sure your late game execution is important. Today at 13 points, you got to like that cushion, that opportunity, but Saturday's game could be much tighter, and you could be in exactly the scenario where it comes down to executing one possession, which we saw in the last quarterfinal game between Lincoln and Carruthers.
Here you go, final 40 seconds of this one. Kings lead 74-61 over Niagara Prep. Six on the shot clock. Harrison gets in the lane, is going to draw the foul there on Stewart, so she's going to head to the line for 2.
And this will give you part of what we talked about last time out. Kings probably talked about a few things, hard to predict what, but obviously they talked about some things they wanted for late game execution here, something to work on going into Saturday's game. And this possession resulted in probably fairly well defended as they switched through some actions and fought through some others, but then they have fouling at the end, and that's probably one piece that they're going to want to talk about. Probably either here on the bench when this thing's over or at least in the debrief before they play again.
Able to hit both. With this, we're going to have Kings dribble this one out. So at the end of our fourth quarterfinal matchup, we have the 4-seeded Kings Christian Collegiate taking this one 74-63 over Niagara Prep. And just like that, we have our semifinal set. Yeah. We have Crestwood's going to take on Kings in the 1-4 matchup, and Lincoln's going to take on Capital Courts as the 2-3.
Yeah, all the higher seeds win today, but I mean there was definitely some drama and excitement in each of those games. So great basketball here on the opening day of the playdowns. Look forward to Saturday and seeing what's next.
All right, we'll see you Saturday.
Please drive home.